So, Steve, first of all, I mean, as a music producer, you've and mixer and everything, you've worked on some of my favorite records of all time. I mean, that's I think anyone that kind of goes into the business of entertainment, the creative business, I mean, most people want to go in because they want to work with great artists. And you've accomplished that. I mean, these are not just regular artists. I mean, these are decade defining artists, whether it's from, Guns N' Roses, Whitney Houston, David Bowie, the list goes on. But here was the thing that interested me. You started out as a DJ, which I had no idea. I mean, like, is a requirement for a DJ? Like, do you have to start off doing drugs?
I'm a control person and I love weed. That was my drug. Weed was my drug. Okay. Obviously, I did coke, but I'm too hyper for that shit. And somebody, when I was 6 years old, gave me acid once. Scared the living crap out of me. Uh, uh, I had a Volkswagen Beetle that was all stroked out. It was called Purple Haze. It was purple, and it had a Porsche engine in it, so it was all hyped up. Mickey Thompson L60s on it. And in the middle of the winter, somebody gave this to me, and I was numb. I literally walked out of my house in shorts and no shoes, and went to my friend's house and stayed with me for about 8 hours to get off this shit. So I learned then this is not anything I want to do. And I remember working with the Grateful Dead, which is not my favorite band, and Clive Davis made me work with them. And I get in the studio, and Jerry Garcia and Bob Weir come in, and I sat down with Jerry. There was a TV show called Playboy After Dark. Hugh Hefner had a TV show every weekend, and it was done at an apartment, the Playboy penthouse, whatever. And they would have guest artists there from James Brown to Deep Purple to whatever. And the Grateful Dead performed one night, and I found that they did is they put acid in the punch bowl. So everybody was tripping on the show. So I sat down with Jerry and I said, Jerry, with all due respect, if you ever pulled that shit on me, I would clock you inside your fucking head. We got along great, by the way, Jerry. We smoked a joint. Great guy. But, this is stuff that was going on. So when it came to drugs, I never really wanted to see drugs in the studio, okay? It's okay for a glass of wine or a beer if you want to smoke a joint, but I work with certain artists that require different things, and I was just not into it. I feel that it's a false sense of security for a lot of artists to do what they do. I personally think pot is fine to me anyway. It worked good with me because it made me more concentrated. I mean, if I have to listen to the same song for 26 hours straight, I need something. So good nutrition and weed always did it for me.
So,